It is an unusual thing to live in a botanical garden. But then again, Simon and Gregor were an unusual pair of gentlemen. You might imagine that the vast greenhouse at Grimfern would be too stuffy for human habitation. You would be more or less right. Though Gregor Sands, the notorious botanist, had become accustomed to the garden's balmy climate. Grimfern's many brilliant glass surfaces were always covered in a sheen of condensation, so he developed a habit of carrying a handkerchief in every pocket for the sole purpose of wiping his spectacles. His sumptuous fruit trees and exquisite orchids required such moisture and heat that by the end of a hard day's gardening, he could practically wring out his cummerbund. Gregor would swelter at any temperature, though, cooking slowly like a steamed ham for his precious collection of botanical curiosities. In a house made of glass, the dazzling sun was a constant worry. An embellished wrought iron frame held up countless artisanal panes, and if a denizen of the garden were caught off guard by a passing sunbeam, or even by a particularly flamboyant candle flicker, he would be quite incapacitated by the light's furious beauty. Simon Revo, the other resident at Grimfern, had set up his taxidermy workstation in the cool, dark basement of the glass house, precisely to avoid this problem. Down there, beneath even the boiler, he could make sure that his compositions did not spontaneously decompose by keeping his cadaverous creations and himself pleasantly chilled. The immense roof of the central dome was a masterpiece of levity through structural integrity, a hallmark of Victorian engineering. The Grimfern Botanical Garden was a prismatic Hagia Sophia, a fountain of jewelled rafters. Even the great Crystal Palace in London would be jealous of its bespoke glasswork. Gregor had taken care to fill his glass mosque not only with greenery, but also with music. He had his mother's piano placed carefully under the great dome to achieve maximum acoustic effect. There he would sit of an evening and swoon to the excesses of French and Bohemian composers. Of course, the great glass roof made a great damn clatter when the storms hit, so even under its shelter, Gregor's rhapsodies could be rained off. In addition, the heat and damp played havoc with the beast's temperament. Even the simplest etude became savage with its barbarous tuning.